they just stopped. They just stopped scoring. They fouled a whole bunch. They're a Minnesota team, so.
What does that mean?
They usually choke.
Yeah, we in Minnesota now.
Everyone, boo this nigga!
Oh, yeah. What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzlies homer, Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today, we are talking about the greatest comeback in Memphis Grizzlies playoff history. Right after this introduction.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops, so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, that's my jam. I can listen to that all the time, but I'm going to tell you guys, it is a good day. It is Friday. I'm going to see the Northmen later on this afternoon, and I saw one of the most spectacular comebacks in NBA playoff history last night with my Memphis Grizzlies against some damn Timberwolves. First, we're going to have to say rest in peace to Prince, the greatest to ever do it, the real GOAT. I am his number one fan, and that's for real. I hate it had to happen on the anniversary of his death, but it had to happen. If you don't know what I'm talking about Memphis Grizzlies 104-95 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves last night in the Target Center. I guess that's what the name of it is still, the Target Center. I don't know. It used to be the Target Center, so I don't know what it is now. But whatever it is, it's our house now. You see, it's our house now. The roller coaster of emotions that I went through watching that game last night. I came into the game, I'm not going to even lie, I had a little trepidation because the Timberwolves are a talented team. They already beat us one game. So it was a little with nerves that I entered this game with because like I've been saying, with playoff games, you never know. With the playoffs, you never know. And each playoff game is a different chapter of the story, and you don't control how it's going to end and how it's going to go. So when it looks like you're in control of a playoff series, it can slip away from you real fast. Just ask Doc Rivers, who's given up a lot of 3-1 leads in the playoffs. It can slip away real fast. So I don't take anything for granted in the playoffs, personally, myself. But let's talk about this game. But first, before we talk about this game, I need you to subscribe to my channel. I told you our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of next season. 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of next season. And with your help, I can get there. It don't take but a second. Just hit that subscribe button, like this video, hit the bell for notifications, and let's talk about this game. Now, the first quarter, I'm not going to lie, the first quarter had me frustrated and pissed off because it was something that goes on a lot with the Grizzlies. If you watch the Grizzlies this season, you've seen this play out a lot. And I can tell how it's going to go just by watching this, and that's by watching Morant at the beginning of the game. And when he's walking the ball up the court at the beginning of the game, it's a guarantee the team is going to get off to a slow start. Because for good or for bad, the team feeds off of Ja's energy. Now, the thought is by some people that Ja was nursing a little injury last night, and he might have been, could have been, because he didn't play himself. He didn't have the energy until like late in the third quarter when they started making their comeback, and it seemed like he got energized. But the Wolves started off on a 10-0, 12-0 run, something crazy. They scored I don't know, the first 12 points of the game. Yeah, 12-0. And they did it by attacking Ja Morant with Pat Beverly off the dribble in the post. It's just went straight at him. And it doesn't seem like Ja was prepared for all that action that early in the game. And it seemed like it kind of threw him off, kind of, had him discombobulated. And so yeah, he came out real bad. I mean, there's just no way to say it. He just came out off kilter. And then on the other end, on the offensive end, Ja was not attacking the rim. He was not trying to get to the rim. They were jacking up a bunch of three-pointers in the first quarter. And next thing you know, they were down 12-0. And then, Desmond Bane made a three-pointer, but the rhythm of the whole first quarter was off. And eventually at the end of the first quarter, the Grizzlies ended up down by 18 after the end of the first quarter, 39-21. And, you kind of frustrated, but we've seen this team all season. We've seen this team come back. So you can't lose faith that soon. So I was like, well, they just got to play a little harder. Maybe the bench can bring them back. And they started, when they were cycling through the bench and everything like that and going into the third quarter, it just seemed like it kept pouring on. The Timberwolves kept playing that. They were playing some outstanding defense. That's what it was. They were playing real great defense, real physical. They were getting away with a lot of contact. And, I mean, it wasn't nothing egregious that there should have been more calls. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they were getting away with a lot of contact. They were bringing the physicality to Memphis, and the Grizzlies just didn't seem like they were up for it at that time. They fell behind in the first half, in the second quarter, by 26 points. It was 47-21. 9 minutes in. 10 minutes in to the second quarter. And then, the Grizzlies started putting in a little fight. And what was frustrating about this game, when you usually see these big comebacks, 20-point comebacks from a team, whether usually and at home, it's usually because the crowd's into it, but on the road, it's because the team that's behind gets hella hot, or their defense just gets real stout. And that's not really what happened. The Grizzlies just kind of mucked the game up and started chipping away. And the Timberwolves started doing stupid stuff like they are wont to do during NBA basketball games. They started taking bad shots. Their defense got a little bit slack. And the Grizzlies, the Grizzlies started making a comeback. Excuse me. The Grizzlies started making a comeback. So, the Grizzlies got it down at the end of, it got up. It was still, 32-51 with 4 minutes left in the half. And the Grizzlies knocked that down with a 12-0 run. Really, it was a 15-0 run because it was 29-51. So they hit them with a 15-0 run and ended up at the half 51-44. And at this point, I'm thinking the Grizzlies have got a chance to win this game. So, we're going into the second half, and Coach Jenkins throws in a little wrinkle. Kyle Anderson started the game. Kyle Anderson started at power forward next to Jaren Jackson to start the game. And in the second half, Brandon Clarke started at power forward. So it's something, I guess, that the coach saw or felt that was ready for this move. Now, the move didn't kind of take off like they wanted to. So the Grizzlies, they came out missing a lot of shots again. They couldn't get a shot to fall at the beginning of the second half. And it ended up they fell behind again. Next thing you know, the 7-point deficit was in the double figures. and then it was 13, and then it was 15, and then it was 17, and then the next thing you know, it was 18, and then it was 20, and then it was 23. Yes, it was 23-point lead with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Jaden McDaniels hit a 23-foot three-point jump shot and put the Wolves up by 23 points. And at this point, you're like, I'm not going to lie. At this point, I was frustrated. I was pissed. I was just, going nuts. I just didn't understand it. And then we had a minute later, D'Angelo Russell hits another three-pointer. The Grizzlies are down 22. And then Xavier Tillman gets a flagrant foul on an inadvertent elbow to Jared Vanderbilt. And at this point, you're like, man, what else can go wrong? What else can go wrong at this point? And with 2 minutes and 57 seconds left, the Grizzlies are down by 25 points. It's 79-54. And, I remember, it's just, I think this is the point where I got frustrated and I took my eyes off the game. I turned the game off. And I just like, man, I can't believe they came out and played like this. I was pissed off. I'm not going to lie. I was upset. So I turned the game off for a second. And then the next thing you know, the lead was down. It was going down to 19. And, it's 19 with a minute left. It's about 19. Then it's 21. And then, next thing you know, Tyus Jones comes in. Tyus Jones makes a shot. Ja Morant makes a free throw. And the turning point to me was when Ja Morant made one free throw, and then he missed the second free throw. And then next thing you know, Ja Morant gets a steal off inbounds. He gets a steal off a bad pass from Jaden McDaniels. And Ja Morant comes down and he makes both free throws this time. And then the Grizzlies are down 16 at this point. Now, then Chris Finch does one of the most disrespectful things that I've seen that coaches do in the NBA. He inserted Greg Monroe into the game for no earthly reason. There was no reason for Greg Monroe to play. I mean, I would have understood Naz Reid, Jared Vanderbilt, anybody. But he inserted Greg Monroe. That's basically saying, I'm going to put my nuts on the table and just flaunt them to you, and you're not going to be able to do nothing about it. And to me, I think that was the turning point in the game. The Grizzlies went into the fourth quarter down 16. Now, when they came in, and Greg Monroe didn't play but the last 6 seconds of the of the third quarter. He only played that 6 seconds. But it's the freaking disrespect of it all. So, what comes up? Tyus Jones comes in the fourth quarter. Tyus Jones drives, gets his shot blocked. The Grizz get the offensive rebound because the Wolves are a terrible defensive rebounding team. So the Grizz get the offensive rebound, and then they spray it out to Jaren Jackson curling off the right wing, and he splashes a three-pointer. And then next thing you know, we're 20 seconds into the fourth quarter, and the Grizzlies are only down 13. And I'm like, wait a minute, 13 points? I mean, after all this frustration and, you're just pissed off, and you got the feeling that you're down 20-something because the Grizzlies are playing so poorly. But you look at the score, and the Grizzlies are down 13 points. And you're like, wait a minute, we got a whole quarter to play. A whole freaking quarter to play, and the Grizzlies are only down 13 points. So, after that, for some unknown reason, the Timberwolves start taking crazy, stupid shots. Anthony Edwards, 26-foot step-back jumper. He misses. Ja Morant comes down, gets a two-pointer. Malik Beasley, 25-foot three-point jumper. Tyus Jones get the rebound. Jaren Jackson missed a three. But, of course, Brandon Clarke gets the rebound, the offensive rebound, and makes a shot. And then Jaren Jackson picks up his fifth foul. 10 minutes in, Grizzlies are down 9. 9 points with 10 minutes left. Now, this is a regular NBA game. This is just like a regular deficit. With a three-point shot, this ain't crap in the NBA. A 9-point deficit with 10 minutes left? Oh, man, we in the game. So Kyle Anderson comes in, and immediately Patrick Beverly, the crybaby, as you can see on the screen, the crybaby, loses the ball. And then he loses the ball, and Desmond Bane comes back and gets another 2. Grizz down 7. Then, Malik Beasley, another 25-foot three-point jumper. Tyus Jones get the rebound. Karl Anthony Towns blocks Ja Morant's shot. But, Patrick Beverly gets down. They come back down. Karl Anthony Towns turns the ball over. Ja Morant comes down, pushes the ball, gets to the free throw line, and he makes 1 of 2. Guess what? Kyle Anderson gets the offensive rebound because why? The Minnesota Timberwolves suck on the defensive boards. And then Tyus Jones makes a three-pointer. Grizz down 3. We in here. It's 9 minutes left in the game. We're in a game now. The Grizz have been down 26 twice. They've been down 26 and 25. 26 in the first half, 25 in the second half, and now they're down 3. Now, we know in the NBA, the hardest part about making one of these big comebacks is getting over the hump. You got to get over the hump. And then for the Grizzlies to get over the hump, Ja Morant makes one of the best passes that I've seen. It's not one of his best passes, but it's a great pass to me, and I'm going to show it to you right now.
Morant, met by Reed. Double, Beverly. Swings it. Oh, Desmond Bane is locked in. Tie game.
Now, you see that whip pass that he made? A left-handed whip pass to the opposite corner to hit Desmond Bane right in the shooting pocket. And Desmond Bane being the second, I would say, elite shooter with volume that the Grizzlies have ever had behind Mike Miller. And I'm going to tell you like this. It is a beautiful thing to have one of these guys on your side. He splashes a three-pointer to tie the game up. Now, the Grizzlies hadn't overcome yet because Anthony Edwards came down, got fouled, and hit 2 free throws. Grizzlies were back down 2. But then Tyus Jones comes down and makes a big three-pointer. Big. Grizz take the lead. They had climbed the mountain with 7 minutes left in the game. Now, from here on out, it was basically the Brandon Clarke show. Making free throws, getting offensive rebounds. Desmond Bane made a three-pointer. Ja Morant was going inside, getting points. Ja Morant kept pushing the ball, and he was collapsing their defense. And either he got the shot or Brandon Clarke was cleaning up the shot. And the next thing you know, the Grizzlies are up 10. And then they're up 12. And then Dylan Brooks splashes a three-pointer in Karl Anthony Towns' whiny mug to put the Grizzlies up 10. And then Desmond Bane blocks Malik Beasley's 26-foot three-point jumper. Have you seen a trend here with Malik Beasley and these dumb shots he was taking? The one thing that I don't understand the Timberwolves. I mean, I'm happy that they don't feature Anthony Edwards all the time because he's the one guy that I'm worried about on their team. He's the one guy that's a physical mismatch for anybody on the Grizzlies team. He's the one guy that could cause the Grizzlies to warp their defense to try to defend, because they don't have to warp their defense for Karl Anthony Towns. This is one thing that you realize, and this is why this series and the play-in game also against the Clippers, these are the reasons why you never blow up a player. There's levels to this stuff in the NBA. You never blow up a player until you see them do it in the postseason consistently. It's one thing to do it 1 year against one certain type of matchup where you might have the advantage. You see, I'm gonna get like Jalen Brunson has an advantage against Utah. They have bad perimeter defenders, and he's killing them. He looks great, looks wonderful. Now, that's a sign of a good player. Now, to be a great player, you got to be able to do the same thing with a defense that's ready for you, that's stacked for you, that's prepared to stop you, and not only is prepared to stop you, but has the personnel to stop you. And that's where we come to Karl Anthony Towns. We've seen the Clippers do it, and now we're seeing the Grizzlies do it. Put basically small forwards on him and not even have to worry about him. Take him out the game. Out the game. Since Steven Adams has stopped playing, Karl Anthony Towns hadn't done a damn thing in this playoff series. Not a damn thing but whine and cry on the sideline. That's it. He hadn't done a damn thing in this playoff series. And people will push players like Karl Anthony Towns who play on sucky teams that never get to the postseason and put up all these great stats in the regular season when nobody cares about their team. And this is one of my points of emphasis. As you listen to me on this channel, you will see this when people start elevating players before they've actually proven themselves. And you have to prove yourself over multiple series in the playoffs. That's why guys like Jason Tatum are certified. He's done it from his rookie season. He's been doing this in the playoffs against different defenses, against great defenders. He's not only defended, but he's brought the offense also. Jason Tatum is certified. There's certain players in this league that are certified. That's why people didn't have any respect for DeMar DeRozan. That's why his last game was such a big game. Because until you do it in the playoffs consistently, people just don't respect. They don't care what you do in the regular season. That's why people stop having faith. That's why Giannis didn't win 3 MVPs in a row. Because people are like, man, all you got to do is build a wall and, stop Giannis. Man, we ain't got to worry about Giannis. He ain't all that great. All you got to do is build a wall and you stop Giannis. But Giannis went in the lab. And he improved himself. He improved his game. So now he's certified. And you're going to hear this whole offseason about the Joker. Is he really that good? I know he's a 2-time MVP. I see the stats. I see all the things that he's doing. But is he really that good? You're going to hear it this whole offseason because the Golden State Warriors are going to beat the hell out of him. And he's putting up numbers, but he's not performing down the stretch like he normally does because the defense are set and he don't have any teammates. Now, me personally, the Joker is certified for me because I've seen him do it in the playoffs against several matchups. Now, he's going to get some criticism this year because he's catching a team that's fully loaded, and his team is not. His team shouldn't be in the playoffs. It's a testament to how good he is that his team is even in the playoffs. It reminds me of those LeBron teams that he used to wheel to the finals, and then they get their asses kicked in the finals because they just had no business even being in the finals. He was just that good. So that's where we are. The Timberwolves cut it down with a meaningless Anthony Edwards three-pointer with 11 seconds left. If not, they would have only scored 9 freaking points in the fourth quarter. 9 points. They scored 9 points in 11 minutes and 52 seconds of the fourth quarter, or 48 seconds of the fourth quarter, whatever. They scored 9 points. at home in a must-win playoff game with Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Anthony Edwards, and Patrick Beverley on the floor. They scored 9 freaking points in a quarter. Man, I don't want to hear nothing else about this team. I'm not going to have any more trepidation about this team. The Grizzlies are it. I mean, it would take something miraculous for this team to come back from this. Now, I don't think they have the mental fortitude to do it. I don't think they have the togetherness to do it. I don't think they have the leadership to do it. Because it's a one thing to see your leader, Patrick Beverley, get just totally fall apart in the fourth quarter. Your best player, Karl Anthony Towns, totally fall apart for 2.5 games. And then you freeze out your most talented player, Anthony Edwards, so these bums like Malik Beasley could be taking 25-foot three-point shots. Man, what the hell are they doing? And then we got the other most spicy part of this is their coach, Coach Finch. Coach Finch, who said Taylor Jenkins lucked into something when they won the second game. Who said the Memphis Grizzlies crowd wasn't all that. He's heard better. But we have to remember, Coach Finch is a little spicy because he's a little salty. Why is he salty? You got to remember, he was one of the finalists when the Grizzlies were looking for a replacement coach. When they hired Coach Jenkins, Finch was one of the finalists. He's a little salty because he's not coaching John Morant and Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bane and Dylan Brooks and Brandon Clarke, and Tyus. He's just salty. He's not getting to coach these great players. Then he's got to coach these whining bitches in Minnesota, except for Anthony Edwards. So hopefully Coach Finch will get his wish and he'll blow this thing up after the Grizzlies get through dispatching them in 5 like I predicted. It'll be 5. And, yeah, that prediction came after they won the first game, 5. So Grizzlies in 5, Steelers on the table, at home. They're going to do it in the crib. I don't know if I'm going to go yet. But, yeah, they're going to finish them off in the crib after they beat them Saturday late night in Minnesota. Yes. So, remember, you can never give up on these Grizzlies. You never count them out. I mean, what a precedent to set this early in the